Welcome to Zach D TV, your place for interesting news from around the net. In today's episode, we are going to look at generating electricity with your blood, a patch designed to help you lose weight, and we're going to wrap it up with a cure for cavities. And remember, if you want more interesting news like this 7 days a week, click the subscribe button over here so you know when I upload something new. Alright, let's get into this. A team of researchers from Fudon University, this is in China, recently announced that they have come up with a way to generate power with blood, and actually any flowing liquid. But the device they have built is small enough to fit within an artery. The researchers have dubbed this a mini style of hydropower, kind of like we have at the power generating dams, to that effect. Only this works on different principles. When this carbon nanotube fiber comes in contact with a salt solution, it becomes negatively charged. The solution near this fiber then becomes positively charged, and you basically end up with a battery in the solution stream. When this fiber is stuck through a tube that carries a salt solution with copper wires attached to the outside of it, it can generate electricity with a 23% efficiency. This is the highest efficiency rate seen with this type of power generation. They can see even higher efficiency rates with a higher salt content and a faster flow. And while all the stories that I was able to find on this like to bring up how it could be used for a blood power, that's actually not the most efficient way to make this work. A better use would be to, say, weave it into clothing and allow the salts from your sweat to activate it and generate power, or maybe in a small array that could be used to power sensors that were put inside the body. This really wouldn't be a good source of external power, though, if used inside the body. Researchers did prove the viability of this product by attaching 3 10-centimeter long fibers to a frog's sciatic nerve. When they put the fibers into a salt solution, they were able to get the frog's leg to twitch, which doesn't take a lot of power, but at this time, this is just the beginning, and as with anything, the more research, the more time they put into it, the better outputs they will see. And one day this might be used to power nanobots that float around our bloodstream, or sensors on your wearable athletic gear. And while we're talking about nanotech here, let's step into nanotech for weight loss. It's amazing. Nanotech is just blowing up in the medical industries. And now researchers from the University of North Carolina have come up with a way to use nanotechnology to help fight fat. That's right, they've developed a patch that uses micro needles to deliver nanoparticles into your white fat cells. These nanoparticles are designed to turn your white fat cells into a brown fat. The difference between white fat and brown fat is your white fat is meant to be long-term storage, whereas your brown fat is meant to be used for quick, high-energy output. Therefore, if your body has a choice, it's going to burn that brown fat first and hold on to the white fat for later. While there are pills and injections on the market right now that claim to be able to turn white fat into brown fat, the delivery method has just been all wrong and really makes them inefficient in the way they work. Because instead of targeting a certain area, they get distributed throughout the whole body. And they can cause a lot of different side effects too that are very negative, right up to weakening bone. These researchers tested this new method on rats in the laboratory by attaching their patches on one side of an obese mouse and leaving the other side free. At the end of the study, each treated mouse showed a 20% reduction in body fat. It also showed that they used 20% more oxygen, which is a side effect of an increased metabolic rate. So not only did this help burn the fat, but it raised the mouse's metabolism as well. Now, of course, there's a long way to go before this ends up in human trials, but with research this promising, you know it's on its way. And according to Li Kang, many people will no doubt be excited to learn that we may be able to offer a non-invasive alternative to liposuction for reducing love handles. What's much more important is that our patch may provide a safe and effective means of treating obesity and related metabolic disorders, such as diabetes. I will be keeping an eye on the progress of this patch. As you can see, I have my own personal reasons for that, and I'll keep you guys updated as more information comes out. And finally, researchers at the Wuhan Institute of Virology are working on developing a vaccine for cavity. A paper published in Scientific Reports details how these researchers are working with a fusion of proteins to help prevent dental cavities. I'm not saying you won't have to brush your teeth after this, but it may be a great way to combat cavities in areas that don't have dental care. In previous studies, they were successful in protecting against cavities, but their treatment had a lot of side effects to it, such as inflammation or bone loss. When testing their new solution on mice and rats, however, they found none of the same side effects that they had originally. This treatment is administered through the nasal cavity and showed a 64.2% success rate in stopping cavities. In rodents that already had cavities, it was able to stop an additional 53.9% of growth. So in the long run, this protein was able to match the original's high level of protection and just showed no side effects. Now, this is pretty major research because, according to the World Health Organization, 60 to 90% of children have cavities. So, I mean, obviously, a lot of people could really benefit. I think we see even better success rates in undeveloped areas where people just don't have access to dental care. And of course, like many other medical procedures that I do report on, this needs more time. They want to get the protection percentages up a little bit. And of course, it's going to have to go through human trials and everything else before we get our hands on it. It does, however, show a lot of promise. And it's neat to think one day we may be able to get a vaccine to keep us from getting cavities. And so with that, which one of these is most interesting to you? Which one do you think is going to have the largest effect on our future? And if you like this episode, go ahead and click that like button. It'll really help my channel grow. I do this 5 days a week with a live stream on Saturday and a short on Sunday, so I hope to see you here again. And until next time, have fun and be safe.